We are seeing a lot of companies within the video game industry go through some major changes very quickly. We're seeing layoffs, we are seeing game cancellations, and now Xbox is being turned upside down because Phil Spencer is retiring, Sarah Bond is departing, and a Microsoft AI exec is taking over. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, there is nothing that could happen within any of these companies that would surprise me, but it is a little bit shocking to some people that this seemed to be a very quick turnaround for Microsoft because just earlier in the day, Sarah Bond had been posting about Xbox. She had said on her LinkedIn, "We'd love to learn more about how you play so we can continue improving Xbox accessibility features. When everybody plays, we all win." And then just a few hours later, we found out that she was resigning. It seems that everybody was pushed out, and this could be for a few different reasons. I know a lot of people are speculating, but I think the most obvious reason is spelled out, and that is that the current president of Microsoft's core AI product is becoming the new CEO. Microsoft, like many tech companies, is diving headfirst into AI. They think that it is the future of tech, and they think that it is going to make them a lot of money. And in a time where Microsoft gaming or Xbox is not making as much money as they expected, yeah, there's not a lot to lose. Sure, there are plenty of people out there who don't like AI, who don't think that AI is the future. I think it's pretty obvious that we are never getting rid of it at this point in time. But Satya Nadella may have pressured Phil and Sarah to kind of get with the program, or now it was time for them to say goodbye to the company. And well, maybe this is why Sarah Bond is not actually taking over for Phil Spencer, because it has been long thought that she would become the Microsoft gaming CEO, but her making a post 3 hours before this happened and before this announcement was made makes it seem very freaking suspicious. Maybe they just took her to the office and said, "Listen, it's got to be now, or you got to get with the program," and that didn't happen. Now, Asha Sharma is also somebody who I think was a very bad decision, because this is not somebody who knows anything about the video game industry. This isn't somebody who's been in the video game industry for 20 years and pivoted to AI a couple of years ago because they thought that they would be able to work their way up the ranks or something like that. We're just talking about a woman who clearly just goes where the money is. And I suppose good CEOs do know what is and is not going to make a company money, but you still are looking at video games, an industry that was started because of drive and passion and care, and now it's just being controlled by people who do not give a fuck, and gamers have been rejecting this for years at this point. Plus, we are also talking about there being a lot of reveals for Xbox Magnus, which could mean that they just want to go into the new generation with a different team, because the last Xbox generation did not do oh so well for them. There's a multitude of reasons why this could have happened. Either way, gamers are not responding positively to this, or at least in the way that Microsoft was probably hoping. I know a lot of people have memed on Phil Spencer for years. He was always just like the public face of the company. In my opinion, he never truly knew what made Xbox special in the first place. I still think that he could have done worse, but I think Sarah Bond would have done a significantly worse job if she was actually put into this role. Indian female corpo lifer, AI exec. We've never been more cooked, boys. Well, Xbox is done. Massive layoffs incoming using AI for everything. He was probably the last one protecting the Xbox brand. And the problem is that the Xbox brand, in my opinion, doesn't really exist anymore. They have moved away from their core series. They have tried to modernize and innovate in all of the wrong ways possible, possible. And unfortunately, Xbox is a shell of what it once was, and they only have themselves to blame for it. Saw someone say a few days ago, after the PlayStation news, Xbox always manages to step on a live grenade for no reason, and damn, they weren't wrong. It's extremely interesting that Sarah resigned. I really do wonder if they're frustrated with what's happening at Xbox or something else is going on. I suppose we'll never really know because we're not ever going to get any legitimate answers. But if in 2 years Asha Sharma leaves, well, then we just know that it is in sort of a state of decay and that Xbox clearly has a lot more problems going on internally than we even know. Xbox just lost its last real gamer in charge and handed the keys to another corporate suit. That is how you kill a brand slowly. Don't worry, Herman Hulst is next. It's not a matter of if, but when, and I will not be shedding a tear. Herman Hulst is the guy who decided to go out of his way to buy Firewalk Studios because he thought that Concord was going to be the next major game in the industry. He thought Concord was going to be what everybody wanted. Just goes to show how out of touch that really all of these people actually are. I never was in love with Phil Spencer as a CEO. I never thought, oh my God, he did such an amazing job. We did see the destruction of Xbox under him, but I do, first of all, think it is going to get significantly worse. And second of all, there were always worse options than him. Sarah Bond and Phil Spencer resigned and will be replaced by head of AI. Yeah, this is just the direction that a lot of companies are going. I don't think that it is really going to change anytime soon. And even if Sarah Bond had sort of got with the program, I don't think that she still would have been a good decision. Maybe Asha Sharma can do slightly better, I suppose, but again, this is somebody who does not have a history in the video game industry. This is not somebody who really knows what makes video games special. She has a very, very small resume. She held COO at Instacart, board member at Coupang, board member at the Home Depot, and now president core AI product for Microsoft. So definitely moved up the food chain very quickly. I've actually seen a lot of people say, well, of course they wouldn't give it to Sarah Bond. Black women in power is so 2015. Now it is a space for Indian women to be the diversity hires. And really, it has shifted my mentality over the past day, that's for sure. Not a dev, not an artist, not a programmer, zero gaming background. They hired an Instacart employee to run the Xbox gaming division. Yeah, we are so freaking cooked. It's funny how nobody believes her. New Xbox boss Asha Sharma says they have no interest in making soulless AI slop, and just because this is a claim now doesn't mean it is actually the truth. We clearly cannot trust any of the suits that are in any industry. Really, these people will always look out for themselves. And again, if she doesn't do exactly what Microsoft wants, they will just replace her the same way they did Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond. And who knows how many more people are now going to be fired and replaced with AI. So, yeah, plans can change very quickly. Maybe Phil Spencer just decided, you know what, it's finally my time. Maybe Sarah Bond truly sat down and said to herself, this isn't what I want to do. And maybe I can give my position to somebody better and somebody who's going to understand this space more. I just highly doubt it. So I will be keeping a very close eye on this, but so far this has not gone over well with gamers. A lot of people are not amused by this situation, and I can't say I'm very surprised by it, but that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.